and welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I'm L. Adam from Around the Way.
I'm John from Right Behind Adam, former Alphabeatical podcast co-host.
He's in the walls. He's in the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's Alphabetical Reunion Week.
Hey.
Everybody loves that.
We did it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Well, we're back for minute 66. We're here to execute minute 66 with us. 66 starts with Kylo Ren saying, how do I write these notes? Kylo Ren saying, we'll kill him together. And it ends, we'll kill him together and take the throne. So there's an ad on there, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
We'll kill him together and take the throne.
You know what to do, right?
And it ends with the Millennium Falcon blasting its way out of that docking area.
A little bit of slapstick.
Exciting.
But yeah, this is kind of a callback to the classic Sith routine of hey, join me and we'll take out the head Sith, and then you and me will be Sith, and it'll be great.
Do you think that's covered in Sith school? But they think they're like, no, there's going to come a time where you're going to want someone to come to the dark side with you. Here's what we recommend, some tips, and they role play it and stuff just to see what happens.
Yeah, it's like KGB school. You got to manipulate, and it's Sith stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sith
But as
school.
obsessed as Kylo is with like his grandfather, doesn't he know how this all turns out? Like, yeah, let's team up. We'll take over. This will totally work out. Like, I know everything about my grandfather, and he ruled. Like, him and Luke. Like, did he just get, like, some bad intel?
No, he's just power hungry.
Everyone thinks they know how to do it right. Oh, those people in the past, they were dumb. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
I'm the one who knows how to do it.
Kylo's like, I alone can fix it. You know what I mean? So everyone gets that chance, right?
Yeah.
Although,
plus he's like, he's got the dyad thing. He's just like, oh, this is look, we're seriously, like, things are he didn't have a dyad.
It
you at
seems
least have
like
to try once, to recruit, and if that doesn't
Triad.
work, then triad.
Yeah. Although
there is no only triad.
only duad.
Duad. It's about the duality, yes.
Duad. Well, along those same lines, is he really trying that hard? Is he giving her an out too? Is the conflict in him? Is he doing basically what he needs? Like, he feels like the Sithy thing to do is, but when I feel like part of it is like Ben Solo is bubbling to the top. Kylo Ren takes a back seat. Ben Solo is bubbling up to the top and giving Rey an out, basically. Because it's Kylo Ren, and he's saying, come on, we'll do it. We'll kill her. And she's like hesitating. And then when he takes off the helmet, which is his big, like, hey, this is my. And part of it could just be like, hey, look, it's me. We got a connection. See, face to face. But part of it is also like that mask. He's very much in this movie. It represents him kind of being going into the Kylo Ren thing, getting more being Kylo Ren and not Ben Solo, being the evil guy and trying to fulfilling that legacy. And so he takes the helmet off, and that's when he says like, hey, you know what you need to do. And he's not saying like join me. He's like, you know what you need to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know how this goes, right? So you hit the bricks.
He's like, you catch my drift? Come on, you know what you need to do, right?
But
Or maybe he was hoping she'd like make out with him in front of all the Stormtroopers, and he'd be like, "See, see,
You know what you need to do, huh? He's like pointing at
I
his.
feel like it's that old demon trick where there's like a two-faced thing. The demon's got control of the innocent part, and he's like, "Oh, it's just me, your mother. Please come with me." Like, and it's like it's really Kylo in the
Smeagol.
background, but Speedle up,
it's a Smeagol.
Smeagol. Yeah, exactly. It's a Smeagol.
So he said Sweetums.
Smeagol alert. I was about to say for some reason.
That's interesting, Pete, because I feel like I was going to say it seems really bad psychology on Kylo Ren's part, because he's like, come on, we'll take the throne. And there's nothing, he will have seen nothing that makes him think that she's interested in sitting on a throne. So it seems like a bad pitch. You know what I mean? Not like last time it was like, we'll come, we'll learn, I'll teach you about the Force. Now he's like, let's take, now we're going to take over. And that, like, if he was going to, it almost makes
He
you
should
seem
be
he's
like-
purposely doing a bad pitch so she won't take it along the lines of what
You
you're
come with me. We will rule the galaxy. You can force anyone you want to be your parents. She'd be like, oh, okay.
That would be a
Deception.
better. all the
Yeah,
portions you can eat.
But yeah, I think maybe she's getting that. He's getting that through the dyad from her vision. Remember, she said she had that vision of her and Ren on the throne ruling.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just like, yeah, come with me. We'll do boop. Oh yeah, we'll share the throne. He's like looking through her recent photos, basically in her mind.
We'll get a
I
little
would
droid
have
with a
offered her
comb.
like you could
Yeah.
you could have your Knights of Rey,
Oh.
and then all will be well. Like
Oh.
we can all hang out. You get that side of the galaxy, I'll get that side.
I'll take the even-numbered planets.
Well, one thing I'm glad is we get to see Adam Driver's face, because I do one thing about putting that helmet back on is I feel like
Are you
we
really
miss-
glad for that?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I thought I think the scenes with him and Ray are the strongest parts of any of the films, and you're taking away something by robbing Adam Driver of the being able to have facial expressions, so it makes it tougher
Right.
to kind of or just different than. But so anyway, so I'm glad we get a chance to see his mug here for a few minutes.
Right. Well, I mean, the pause that she takes is pretty significant. So maybe the pitch did work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's got.
She's
I
like
wrote down-
throne.
Throne.
Man, would be nice to have a throne.
I know. I wrote down quiver face because she was quivering slightly. That was her acting because they're just like 5 seconds, do what you need to do, and she was like, maybe it wasn't that much, but
Okay, he just made you the offer and go. And she's like, Auga! Whoop, 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 whoop.
yeah. And so that happened.
Why am I here?
You know what you have to do, Adam.
Yeah. She just was like,
You know what
yeah, that's what you have to do.
what I what I was thinking rewatching the minutes is like, okay, I already think it's dumb that they rebuilt the mask when it's like, move past this. No, here, I want it back. But like, would they have fixed the voice modulator that's in that mask too? Like, shouldn't his voice sound like a little crack coming through the broken mask?
Oh, you mean
it's just-
like worse for wear, kind of?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, was it just a filter that's making his voice sound like that? Or is there like, I thought there was something inside that gives it that.
Could be like a modular kind of thing. Because I know that the cosplayers have like, it's like a microphone thing in their helmet and then it connects to like a little speaker on their belt. So maybe there's just like a piece of it just needed to be replaced. He probably bought them in bulk.
Yeah, I noticed when he
they tend
takes
to wear
when he takes the helmet off, it makes like a kind of like, which is weird. I don't think of it as being like a pressurized thing like Darth Vader's helmet is.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
it's-
guess
I
they
think
just
I
want to
caught
make it
that.
sound a little bit more significant than just guy silently taking his hat off.
Yeah, because he's a hot mess under it. He's very sweaty. So yeah, maybe it's all.
It should have been like that
That's
sound,
true,
like
yeah.
a pook, like a.
Yeah.
As he takes it off, like a cartoon.
Oh, God, it's hard to breathe in there. What was the...
But she does.
Yeah,
she
it-
does
it-
know what she has to do, which is to stand
does.
there and wait for the Millennium Falcon to show up.
I do know what to do, you
Yep.
bastard. Sorry, didn't mean to curse there. But yeah, and then it shows up.
Yeah. Well, and then why do the Stormtroopers know? Why did the Stormtroopers suddenly start shooting at the Millennium Falcon? They've just been sitting there watching this whole thing calmly. How do they know that that's not part of the routine? Like Kylo Ren, does he give him a little signal like go go go? Like, or is he like was he
Well, they did point out
like
he
'cause
hates
they're
that
just
ship.
sitting there doing nothing for a little bit, and then it shows
Yeah.
up and they're all like ah, ah, and they start blasting wildly at a ship that there's no way they're gonna.
Well, I feel like it follows movie fighting rules. Like, if there's 4-on-1, everyone takes a turn. Like,
Right.
you don't overpower the guy, you just wait.
I love the idea that there's one guy sitting there waiting. He's like, I got next, like behind Kylo Ren.
People keep cutting the line. He's getting all mad and passive aggressive about it. Well, maybe it's because Kylo Ren does hate the Millennium Falcon, as we know, because it has a personal grudge. Maybe all of the soldiers are conditioned that anytime you see the Millennium Falcon, bring it down. That's your
Possibly.
number one priority. Like that
They know
should
the
be your-
engine sounds. Yeah.
They know
can hear
they
it.
could feel it blindfolded, know every inch of it, so that they know to attack it. So that's what.
I feel like
I'm surprised J.
Go ahead.
Abrams didn't have them upload Han Solo's consciousness into the Millennium Falcon somehow to make Kylo hate it even more.
Really stuck with L3.
Yeah.
It was like a digital version of his face on the windshield, like a heads-up kind of hologram kind of a thing.
The other question I have is
Like that guy from Captain Planet.
Yeah.
is where's the Star Destroyer like lookout crew when the Millennium Falcon is just hanging out there?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like, does no one go, "Hey man, there's a Millennium Falcon's outside the window right there," and
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, shut up. Stop telling stories.
Mommy, the Millennium Falcon. Have I told you to not fly?
Yeah. Exactly.
guy can't believe his eyes, throws his wine bottle back over his shoulder.
There you go.
Yeah, that guy. I just saw that guy. He's in The Spy Who Loved Me, but
Yeah.
it's this. He's in 3 of them. He's the same guy.
3, yeah.
That's trilogy. Drunk guy trilogy.
Drunk guy looks at liquor trilogy. That a car can't be on the beach.
So I don't understand this force field they have. Is it? maybe it's not even a force field.
That's my question. Well,
I was about to ask. Yeah, I had that. Like, what the hell?
It seems like air.
Everybody looks into their notes like, what's
yeah,
going
that
on?
was my final question. After the thing that Kylo does, like that Buster Keaton. But let's talk about the force field.
Because like air can't escape clearly because no one's being sucked out. Air can go in because when the Falcon turns on its engines, everyone starts getting blown away like wind is coming in.
Right.
So air can go from outside in. Also, we're not in a vacuum.
Right.
We're in the upper atmosphere of Kijimi. So would that make a difference?
Oh, that answers another one. Of my
Oh, okay.
questions.
I didn't
Okay.
put that together. We're not in a
Yeah,
vacuum.
I didn't
Right.
realize they were.
We're in a
Because
dice.
I was like, how? Yeah, because Finn had a mask on, but when Rey jumps out, she just takes in a deep breath and she's like, "Ugh!" And I was like, wait, are they in space? Shouldn't she be dead?
I guess it's just
Just thinner air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
dinner.
I never quite understood the physics behind that vestibule of force field when you
Yeah.
enter
Yeah.
and exit, but they don't make a big deal of it.
I assume
Yeah, because
that
the older movies, didn't they have like a shield that it actually opened and closed, didn't it?
in
I
the,
thought
in
it
the
was just
prequels
there,
they did.
yeah.
The prequels.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did.
the prequels, you can see them. But that's why I don't like them. I like not seeing a force field, but then also don't run in and out of it. If you can't see it, then it's just gonna people are just gonna ask
Well,
questions.
yeah.
Just
They
like
always said
leave it on, fly through it. We'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah. The engineer in Rogue One said, if you can't see the force field, we've done our job right. That's what they always say, the engineers. And it's true.
Because if you recall in the original Star Wars, when the Millennium Falcon is going into the Death Star, you hear one of the stormtroopers say, "Clear Bay 327, we are opening," like as if everyone has to leave because the air is all going to be sucked out once the force field is down. That's
Right.
how I assumed it was. But then I guess the Falcon backs out through it with no problem. So this has been a problem from the very
But everything was different back then.
Yeah.
Lightsabers were heavier and
That's true. Yeah.
I think it was a stormtrooper prank. He just farted and he was like, "Clear Bay 327, you don't want to be in there." Oh,
Oh,
and everybody's
man.
like, "Oh,
We got some propulsion.
FRT 42."
That's a
Executive Order 60 stink.
So both of the Force users, Kylo Ren seems like he's getting blown a bit from this wind, but he's kind of
Okay.
like standing up,
Yeah,
like,
isn't that hilarious?
like Buster
I mean,
Keaton.
Yeah.
we were just talking about Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's right away what I think of. Like,
Yeah.
there's like a gimbal set or whatever is that a gimbal? The thing that moves up and down in Hollywood.
Macy's.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
And he's on one of those where like everything looks normal, and he's like, or like Michael Jackson.
Right.
in the movie.
Jamiroquai.
Yeah, Moonwalker.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie.
But it's funny because there's two shots of it. There's a shot when he does it, and then then there's a close up of him just being like,
He looks like that kid in the meme
like
with
a-
the veins in his head popping out.
he's like, I can do this 45-degree forever. Just you watch.
Or like
What?
the right stuff.
It's unclear how Rey is, how she is standing up against the Falcon. Why is she not getting? Is she also all like acting kind of We don't
I
see
don't know.
what her face looks like. She's just kind of standing there.
Yeah. Again, I have
Right.
questions about her side sort of flight.
How so?
She jumps off. How does it work? Tell
And
me
she
how
like
it
does
works.
like a weird
She does,
side flight.
She kind of does a side flight.
Yeah.
But also when Kylo's doing his lean, his cape is fluttering, but his helmet is completely still in his hand. Like he's I think
got a
he's
good grip
using
on
the
it.
Force to he's doing that with he's like, I'll just let the cape move. It looks cool this way.
yeah.
But
right,
like, his whole arm should be
just flapping around.
They should have been all like one of those guys doing a G test, where their
Yeah,
face
then
gets
it-
all
Right,
pulled
yeah.
back.
Yeah, right stuff.
shows him-
and then he should have turned into Popeye.
Yeah, and then it shows him and his other guy in the hallway.
Blow
later, like,
me
"You wanna
down."
get some coffee? Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I like the jumping into the Falcon thing. I think it's kind of dumb, but it's cool looking, so I'll allow it. But it seems like it
Yeah.
requires a lot of kind of like
we
setup.
Two bits of force creep. There's the force hold, which is what I believe they're doing. So everybody else is blown away, but Rey and Kylo Ren can hold on.
Yeah.
They can brace themselves with the force, and then the jumping onto the thing, kind of like extended leap out of the docking bay into the thing. I think that's force enhanced. So I think there's two elements of force creep. Although we saw Jedi jump, I know in Phantom Menace, but still,
Well, also, is
that
it
kind of like
I forget if I'm assuming people cannot use the Force to levitate themselves. Because if you could say it that way, Rey is kind of, as she's going towards the Falcon, she's using her levitation, a la Princess Leia, to kind of like guide
Right.
herself back to the...
yeah. I think that's
ship.
kind of like she's like reaching with the force to like grab.
Okay. Yeah.
Although now I do want to see just like her just kind of casually walking, like levitate herself up and just like walk off the end of the force field platform, the docking bay, and just into the thing. The Millennium Falcon is.
I feel like that will break
whole
Star Wars if that happens, because why is not there'd be
Yeah.
1,000 situations where people could have used flying. It's like R2's rockets,
There-
like times 1,000.
Yeah, Rey
Like,
doesn't
there's
do any levitating in this movie.
Yes, she does when she's meditating.
Yeah, she's
Right.
she's
Okay,
yeah,
so she's
like
meditating, but she's not like Superman, like flying up in the air, like
She's not doing like hidden tiger, crouching dragon kind of stuff. No,
right.
right.
yeah.
but
Not yet.
not yet. But
Yeah.
She's got a whole nother movie or so coming up eventually.
Yeah.
Right?
So Rey can do it because
Then we'll
she's at
see.
the forefront of the timeline. You know what I
The
mean?
Force front.
Right.
Like if someone in the olden times is now suddenly flying, that would
yeah,
Right.
I guess they didn't. Yeah,
that would break it.
yeah.
the old timers didn't really know how to do that, right?
They were so dumb back then.
They were so stupid. They could move a
didn't
crate
they
or
just-
something. What's stupid?
Why didn't they just Jedi jump?
Oh my god!
Oh wait, they did in the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I want to, for a second, I want to bring us into the complicated world of the novelization, the expanded edition of Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker,
What you got?
Episode 9, by Ray Carson, New York Times best-selling author. To talk about something that's not in this scene that actually happened, I think, right before this scene in the novelization. Is we get another scene with Leia, one of these Leia scenes that were cut. I don't know if they actually filmed it and cut it. It seems unusual. When the Falcon kind of busts out, because remember the Millennium Falcon is on a different docking bay. It flew outside and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was on the Star Destroyer, left and then went to a different window, basically. And once it gets out of the Star Destroyer and like activated, then we cut back to our old friends Snap Wexley and Not Penny's Boat Hobbit and even Rose might be in the scene. But
That's why
they are
it was cut.
they're hanging out and they tell Leia, there's like, hey, we're getting a signal from the Millennium Falcon. It's flying again. It's up and running. And she was like, she's so relieved. And then she gets Luke. See, I don't know if he physically appears before her, but he appears like she hears a message from Luke saying, hey, Leia, it's time. Like, so basically saying like, you're done here. We got to go. We got to, I'm inviting you to Force Land. And she was like, no, not yet. Like, I've got one more thing to do or something like that. So it's getting there. And you go more into, this, not really not really thoroughly explained that that the Mary Poppins thing took a lot out of her, and she's been weak and dying the whole time since then.
I forgot about the Mary Poppins thing.
Yeah.
Right, and then that kind of comes back in that scene, and then we cut back to the scene in the hangar. But in between, when the Millennium Falcon leaves with Poe and everybody on it, and then we get to this scene here, in between there's a little bit of Leia being like, "Oh, good, they're gonna be okay," but I gotta before I die, I gotta do a little more. Luke being like, "I'll give you 5 more minutes."
Maybe that's why Rey didn't
then you gotta
Mary Poppins it up to the Millennium Falcon.
Right,
Too much
yeah.
energy
Could be,
expenditure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke wants her to meet him at Tatooine, where they both grew up, or something.
Yeah. Right. No.
That ending.
I really do like the idea of someone going on their deathbed, like a Force ghost being the thing that's like, come on, it's time to go. I really do like that idea.
Right.
I mean, obviously they couldn't do it because of the way events played out, but I wonder if that maybe would have been something that we saw, like in episode 9, that was almost if Carrie Fisher had lived. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, that's an interesting little tidbit, though. Little scene.
Yeah. I'd like to see. There's a bunch of little things. There's also, I'm not going to talk about them much, but there's also like a surprising number of scenes of just Zori Bliss doing things by herself, more or less, in this book. Like,
I think it's a backdoor pilot.
like there's an awful, I don't know. There's an awful lot of like, we don't really need to know that like what she did after they left, but like they tell us in several different little chapter sections. It's just like Zori Bliss went to
the bathroom.
There's like some kind of orphan that she was like concerned about their safety, and then she goes.
Well,
and
that
gets
orphan's
her ship.
related to someone.
That could be it. Yeah.
Everyone's related to someone.
Well,
I mean, of the main cast.
but yeah, we don't. There's other stuff in here. It is really, truly an expanded edition. But we get to come back. After the Falcon leaves
tomorrow,
kind of, and it goes back until more stuff for tomorrow. Does anybody have anything specific to minute 66?
I think we covered
before
everything
the Falcon leaves.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
I rest my case. Yes.
I got nothing.
No
man.
further
Case
questions. Case closed.
Well then, let's table it for now. We can come back tomorrow, assuming you guys can come back tomorrow.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Yeah, sure.
John, don't burst through the walls and scare Adam yet. Take your time.
Okay.
Just.
Oh yeah.
But hey there, if you're listening to this, watching this, don't forget you can listen to it if you're just watching. Go to StarWarsMinute.com. You'll find the places to subscribe as a podcast. And if you're just listening, you didn't know there's a visual component. Hey, guess what? There is. You can watch it at StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube. You can see all of our faces, etc., etc. And we will be back tomorrow. Same crew, different day. Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.
Minute.